All right, Emerald coaches, welcome to this Zoom. We're jumping on here just a few minutes past the hour. We just want to welcome you. If you're on, would you please let us know that you can hear us? I do see that we are live. So welcome. If you've got your fellow Emerald coaches that should be on here, please tag them, comment below, and make sure that they're on. I've got the Emilie Robidas here, as you can see. This is not only a business you can work from home, but you can work from your car as well.
I'm not driving, guys. I swear.
Oh, hey, there's Damien. Awesome. Well, we're going to make sure that you're safe and that we can hear you fine. So first of all, if you can hear us okay, give us a thumbs up, give us some love, let us know where you're dialing in from or where you're watching this Zoom from, okay? We'd love to hear from you. And so without any further ado, we're going to just jump right in, okay? Enough of the pleasantries. The UK people just like to go straight to the point. So why don't we do that, Emilie? I will start by saying Emily and Damien are just dear friends of mine. I respect them a lot. I've known them now for basically as long as, Canada has been opened. She's done phenomenal. If you guys watch Summit or were at Summit 2 years ago, I guess you wouldn't have been at that Summit. 2 years ago, she did win the leadership awards. She's a 14-star diamond, multiple-time elite coach. But more importantly, I think I do want to point out that she started as a coach and was really focused on retailing and helping customers, which is a focus that we've talked about a lot in the UK, making sure that, you take advantage of the vital process and you help your coaches through being a customer first. And so why don't we just jump in, okay? I do want to ask the first question, and the first question is essentially, you've built your business primarily on running excellent challenge groups, Emilie, and recruiting customers first. First of all, tell us why that has made sense for you and your team.
Well, it made sense for me because I was a customer first. So this is how I got started, and it was very natural for me to talk about the products and the programs because they had changed my life in the first place. So that's something that I was already doing without being a coach, and that I think that you can't fake passion. When you love something for real and it's transformed you, you just share it naturally. And for me, it made a lot of sense to just start there because I was already doing it before I became a coach. And so signing up at first, yes, I had my background. I had aspirations of becoming a business lady, of being an entrepreneur. But in the first place, the first reason why I started that way is because I had done a program. It changed my life, and I was talking to everybody about it. So when I first started, it was just natural for me to talk about the programs in the first place and having people live a similar experience so they can transform their life, and naturally they'd be duplicating what happened to me, which is talking to everybody about it, and these people would get results as well, and then they would just talk to everybody about it and they would just duplicate. And I feel like there's a balance to do about focusing on the business and recruiting business builders, but there's also something to be said about the vital process, which is I feel the natural progression for people where they don't feel like they're selling anything. They just feel like they're truly sharing what they love and what has changed their life. And I feel like it's giving a big beating heart to your business because it runs out on passion, right? On loving stuff and just wanting to share with everybody. So I started with challenge groups, and then naturally I started to have people that had transformations, that became coaches on a team, and then we're having success. And then that built up to more credibility as a mentor as well, because the team was growing together and I had more coaches getting more success, on the fitness side and on the business side. So it really just was natural progression for me. And so I feel like I'm not here to say that this is the way that everybody should be doing it, but however you got started or however it feels natural, I do believe that there's something to be said about living experience ourselves and being proof the products work in the first place. And that doesn't mean having a six-pack. It means having a transformation inside out and being in, on a journey to better your life.
And that's greatly said. I think, if you guys were to look at, the compensation plan highlights, you can just, and I'll post them here if you guys don't have them. At the very top, it basically has retail income and how to make retail income. At the very top of the compensation plan highlights. And the reason why it's there is because you can build however you want, like Emilie said, but it is important to make sure that you start with the basis of helping your customers, because honestly, what we've seen from a number standpoint, just from data, good coaches are really good customers with a transformation that are connected to you, their coach. And so I think it's important to do that. I think there's also different ways of building the business. I think, there's people out there that are entrepreneurs that are ready to become coaches. And I'm sure you've signed some of those, Emilie, and those might be better coaches right away, but they still have to have the experience of a challenge group.
Yes, absolutely. And I just finished Lift 4 and I'm in pretty good shape, and I still was able to bring on some results. And I'm not talking just physical, but people can see that I've been on a journey because I've been sharing it. So, I've been in a business for 5 years, and I still make it a number one priority for me to be the first to do the program, commit myself, and share and show that it's real and it works. And wherever you are in your journey, you can still be progressing. And today, like, I shared my transformation yesterday, and I'm getting like a ton of messages about like people interested. So it's always been for me the pillar of creating leads, really sharing my journey with the fitness. And like I said, not focusing on a physical transformation, but really the journey and the consistency and how it is accessible, and how I can bring this program into your home and you can have your own transformation with it and your own journey. So even 5 years in, fitness is still a strong pillar of my business, and that's duplicating within the downline. And we have a really, really strong team.
I would say, you just advanced 2 10-star diamonds. I know 2 other 5-star diamonds that, were developed a week ago. It's really developed quite nicely. And it's nice to see that the basis was based on helping customers and running really, really strong challenge groups. And over time, you start finding your coaches, right? Your business builders. And so that's fun to see that, because we have a lot of new coaches that are, looking at it. And the beginning is always sort of slow. You're learning how to do it. They always say the plane burns the most fuel, most energy on takeoff. And some people, it's very real. They're finding that out right now. So let's talk about, because as much as they do want to make retail income, run incredible challenge groups, they also do want to build a business, right? You're in this group because you're striving not only to be a solid emerald, but to go even beyond emerald. So let's talk, if I'm a coach, how many challengers do you recommend, for me to add to eventually sign one coach? Is there a ratio? What do you recommend to your new coaches?
It is a tricky question because, again, it comes back to the same question: is how long is it going to take me to make that amount of money, let's say. So insert disclaimer here. Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success. I feel like it really depends on your skills, your diligence, your focus. So there's a part that you do have control on, but then there's also the fact that it is a ratio, just like the same ratio as how many people you're going to have to invite before one says yes to your challenge group. So I don't know if I have a specific number, but for me, from the get-go, it's official that you have to bring in at least 3 new challengers a month and hit Success Club. Success Club, yes, is great. We're getting prizes, we're getting recognition, but it's there for a reason. It's called Success Club because it helps you build success. And it is attached to residual income when people get on an automatic monthly auto ship. So it creates stability in your business. So it has a really important purpose. So for me, bare minimum is those 3 challengers a month. And then the natural progression is usually people become emerald in the first month. They might sign up their spouse and have a friend that starts Shakeology. And then if you have those 3 challengers, maybe the second month, you're going to get 3 more. Maybe one is going to want to become a coach. But again, I'm not pushing anyone to become something that they're not ready to become. So I'm being a politician now. I'm not giving you numbers. But, oh, I can't hear you. Did you mute yourself?
Yeah, that would help. So you're saying that you need to sign up 3 customers a month minimum. That is Success Club. That is your goal, to sign 3 customers.
Yes, and obviously, if you want to go faster, then you need to be talking to more people, getting more people in your challenge groups, and it's just a compound effect of what you do, and then the better you become at inviting, like, finding solutions for people's needs and guiding them through and helping them get results, then the more confidence you build, then the more credibility you build, then your ratio is going to increase. So when I talk to my new coaches, I used to say something like, you might have to invite 20 people for one to say yes. But, maybe 3-5 years after, you might have to invite 5 people and one is going to say yes, because you're more confident, because you're going to get on the phone and ask those questions, because you're going to do that extra step that maybe other people are not going to do. So I feel it's the same for coaching. And I do believe that it starts with us investing in our own personal, professional development with purpose and being intentional about it and doing the hard work inside. So we become a better coach, a better mentor, a better human being. So people that we attract ultimately know what we stand for, know our values, know where we're going, know our vision, and they want to get on a train. So I feel like it's and it takes time. It's not something that happens overnight, and you just have to trust the process and focus on those goals that we talk about all the time: the vital behaviors, hitting Success Club, adding new coaches, rank advancing, helping your coaches rank advance, helping your coaches run challenge groups, and then it really creates a duplication and that solid foundation for the team.
Yeah, and you've mentioned, I mean, most of those tools, whether, it's for tracking, your business activity, the business activity tracker is there. Whether you want to understand how to run a good challenge group, it's there. Inviting, all those resources are there. Bottom line is actually doing the work, right? And there's some great books out there, because at the end of the day, you might know all that. You have to execute. You have to go out there and do it. And so it usually is around, like you said, it's about, messaging, connecting and messaging and following up for those that are not quite ready. And so that consistency is important. I do want to drop just 2 books that I think have helped a lot of new coaches. One of them, I'm sure you guys have heard of it. If you haven't, pick it up. It's a very quick book, which is Go for No. It's a phenomenal book. The second one is Eat That Frog. Eat That Frog. I think it's a really, really good book whenever he talks about basically doing things sometimes that you don't feel like doing, because that's what it's going to take, right? So
yeah, at the end of the day, what I've been seeing is, and that's not everybody, but most people that don't get the results or don't get customers are people that have a fear to invite and connect with people. And the truth is, some people would ask me, we've had success with the Team Beachbody Cup, like we've created multiple champions in the team, and it always comes down, hey, what do you do? And it's mathematics. It's, if you want to look at your numbers, and that's when tracking becomes so important. If you're getting the habit of tracking how many people you've talked to in August, let's say how many people you talked to in August, how many you actually invited them to a challenge group, and you were able to get a yes or a no, like an answer, not like they never replied to you. How many follow-ups, how many new contacts have you created? And then you go on a month like September or any month that you say, you know what? I'd like to triple my results. So it's very simple when you've tracked to go back to what you've tried and say, okay, so let's say in September, in August, I invited 100 people and I hit Success Club 10. I'm just throwing numbers out there. So if you want to have Success Club 30 the following month, well, you have to invite 300 people. And sometimes those numbers might be scary. And I'm saying, it's not a perfect science. I'm just saying, you have to figure out your number. You have to figure out what's your flow. What is the flow of number of people you need to be talking to every day, inviting to challenge groups, so you get the ultimate result that you want, which is how many successful points, how many coaches. And that comes with the experience of doing it for yourself and figuring out and tracking and having a contact list and knowing exactly where your numbers are. If you want to be a business person, like every entrepreneur knows how many sales they've done, how many people came in their restaurant in the last month. So I think that's something that as a CEO of our own business, we have to be aware of and be very intentional about.
Gotcha. So this is so good stuff. I hope you guys are paying attention and applying, and that you do tag your coaches. So as I heard you talk, you're talking about being a business owner and being an entrepreneur, and just hard work. At the end of the day, it's hard work. Now, in order to multiply your business, you have to find other people like you, right? And so in your challenge groups, I know for a fact, at least in Quebec, the province of Quebec, the business sort of is almost like something that people are not comfortable. We're not comfortable talking about it. That pendulum has swung some, I believe, because of you just establishing that and building some incredible people. But if a coach is running a challenge group, what are some key traits that they should look for a potential coach? Because a challenger, what they're going to share with you are really not going to lend themselves to the business at first, right? So what traits should they look for, and who should they invite from their challenge groups?
Okay, so there are some traits that we can look for, but then don't think that because certain people don't have these traits that they could not become a rock star on your team. Because I have examples on my on my team of people that were pretty quiet flies on the wall in challenge groups, but they were eager to become a coach and to build a business. And I myself did not come from a challenge group either. So there are some things that you can look for, but the key thing is really being able to follow up with your customers on a weekly basis. Like everybody that's in my challenge group, I want to touch base with them like individually, not just through the page. See how they're doing, see how they like Shakeology or the performance line or whatever products they're using. And if they're enthusiastic about what they're doing, and if they're happy with the experience, then you should talk to them about becoming a coach for various reasons. So I don't really lead so much with the discount, but that's something I talk about. Because if you're going to be using the products and you're going to stay in my challenge groups, well, might as well have a discount. And then I can talk about different options, but I put it very easily. So obviously the obvious is the obvious. If someone posts consistently and they're the cheerleader, they're bringing life to the challenge group, they're commenting, they're very enthusiastic about the whole journey, they're getting results, they're happy. Obviously I'm going to go talk to them and I'm going to put it very simple way for me to connect with them is, hey, thank you so much for being such a good cheerleader on the group. Like you're really bringing life to this group, and people appreciate so much that you check in daily and you're present for them. You'd be a really good coach. Have you ever thought about it? And I just open up the conversation, and that's simple. And then I'll see what they think about it. And most of the time people say they're very flattered that you think about them, especially when you you tell them a very honest compliment. They're very thankful and they're open to hearing more. It's very rare that they might say no. I might say, no, I never thought about it. Okay, but tell me more. I didn't even know I could become a coach. And I heard someone say, if you don't invite them to the business, someone else will. And I know some coaches, I'm going to speak from my experience because we're very strong with fitness and that's more of our natural thing to share. Well, some coaches will be online and having their Facebook page and Instagram page. They'll talk a lot about fitness, but never about the fact that they want to build a team. And then they'll hear someone else say, hey, so-and-so is building a team. What's up with that? And then you're like, well, okay. So this girl is actually interested in coaching and I didn't even talk to her about it. So I feel like there are common traits, but I will get in touch with everybody and pretty much talk either about getting a discount or, have you ever considered coaching? And then running also my monthly sneak peek into coaching that I do, and I invite everybody from my groups and all my customers as well. So that's another way for me to present the opportunity of becoming a coach.
Outstanding stuff. And I think that, you basically have encapsulated all that. I think that, the one thing that stops most people is the start, and you have to start. You have to engage in that conversation, and the more you do it, the better it is. So I can't thank you enough, Emilie, for taking the time to share with our UK Emeralds and striving Emeralds and above. I know that, several are posting about taking furious notes and looking to put all this into massive action. So I want to thank you and hope that you have a safe rest of your journey. And thank you, Damien, for pulling over, it looks like, and indulging us. So
thank you so much, guys, and go and rock it. You have everything. Everything you need to be successful is already inside of you guys. You just have to believe in yourself and go take action, and you have everything you need to be successful and to rock this business. So go for it.
Outstanding. Thank you, Emilie. I appreciate it. For all those of you, thank you. Have a great evening. I hope that you're having a great month. Remember that we are finished this month. We've got the Nifty 50 promotion, right? For all of you that are going to be hitting Success Club 10, Carly's going to send you a 50 quid note with a thank you note as well. Some incredible things happening. Obviously, I'll be in the UK in a couple of weeks to celebrate with those Steps to Success winners, of course, and I'll be meeting with some of you. In the meantime, I hope you have a great evening. Thank you for tuning in. Tag your teammates below, but more so, tag your success partners, and let's get some work done. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.